So I was on probation for a while. I got actually 5 years probation for blacking out on my baby mama and her new dependent. So, I finessed my way out of paying the fine. I finessed my way out of doing the motherfucking community service. But I could not finesse my way out of motherfucking the probation. I had to do the probation. Long story short, one night I used to work third shift, and my sister-in-law was doing something. Oh no, we was dropping my nephew off at the bus station so he could go back to Baltimore. And I hadn't been asleep all motherfucking night. I was like super tired. But when you're in the country, people don't want to do certain things. Like, they be like, oh, can you drive to Atlanta for me? I don't like driving in the city. Like, there's a difference between the roads and shit. Like, that I'll never get. A road is a road, goddammit. But anyway, she wanted me to drive to the city for her. And I did. And we made it all the way up there. We make it all the way back. I get pulled over by the police. And they give me a field sobriety test. Of course, I passed the field sobriety test because I'm not drunk. I'm not even high. I'm just tired. Like, it had been... I had gotten off of work at 10, took me a slight cat nap, and was up the rest of the day. Helping them pack up, get their shit together, and move about. And then, later on, I had to drive my nephew to the train station, so I was stupid tired. So when he pulled me over, I explained all that. Look, sir, I ain't been to sleep. I'm tired. I had to drop my da-da-da-da. I didn't think I was weaving, which I really wasn't. So he gives me the field sobriety test. I pass it. Then he said, well, I'm going to arrest you anyway for suspicion of DUI. I said, man, I don't do no shit like that. He was like, well, when we take this blood test, we're going to take a blood test and see, if you don't have any drugs in your system, then you should be okay. I'm like, that's some bullshit. Because, I smoke weed on a regular basis. So even though I haven't smoked today, don't mean you ain't going to find weed in my system. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. So you going to arrest me for suspicion of DUI? And then I said, fuck that. So he was like, well, you got to take a piss test and they got to take blood. I said, bitch, I ain't got to do nothing. You can book me in, though. That's what the fuck you could do. And that's what they did. So I got out. I got booked in like that Friday night. I got out that Saturday morning. No, I got booked in that Thursday. Got out that Friday morning. Luckily before the weekend. Because if you get locked up on the weekend and you on probation, you might as well call it a rap ski. So I got out of that bitch as soon as I possibly could. Which was like the very next day. They set me a bond and I was out of there. So I called my probation officer that Monday to tell them what happened. I get this hoe on the phone. She said, come on in and just sit down and talk to me. And I said, okay. I'll be in later on today. I said, I just wanted to let you know that way you wouldn't issue no warrant for my arrest. Come on, what the fuck wrong with you? You wouldn't issue no warrant for my arrest. Sorry, I'm driving. But I just called to tell you, what happened so you wouldn't, issue no warrant for my arrest. And this bitch said, oh, we already issued the warrant. I said, what? Without even hearing, she said, yeah, we issue a warrant time you've had any kind of interaction with the police. I said, oh, well, shit. Catch me if you can then, sis. She said, excuse me? I said, you heard me. Catch me if you can. I'm not turning myself in over some bullshit that, I consider to be real deal bullshit. Catch me if you can. So I was already in thought mode where, I was hustling this dick. I ain't even gonna front. Like, I had did porn, I had did, Twitter, I had the little OnlyFans thing. I was popping. So I was making money left and right. So I was like, shit, I'm just not gonna go home. I'll just get it. And at the time, I had just broke up with my boyfriend. So, I had a lot of stress, okay? So now I'm officially on the run. Every nigga I would talk to, I would tell them some shit like, look, if you don't hear from me, I'm in Bartow County Jail. They got a warrant for my arrest, so that's where the fuck I'll be. Here's my real name, my government, first, last, put some money on my books. So I was telling that to just about everybody. I was on the run for about a motherfucking year and some change. My little ex-boyfriend, who was mad because I broke up with him and wouldn't take him back, he started calling the police on me everywhere he knew I would be. Like, it really burnt his ass that, I found a way to keep pushing. Because I was pushing. Like, I was in Aruba. I think I went to the Dominican Republic. I went to Cali, Miami. I was just going a lot of places. New York. And, posting and taking all kind of pictures and shit. And, that was making that nigga sick. Because he really thought I was going to be at home crying in the pillow or some shit. Little did he know, he was dealing with Boogie from the old nigga, not the nigga that you thought you knew. It's a revamp time. I'm single again. The fuck? So, him seeing all these pictures, me going places, that really was making him fucking mad. So he was like, trying to get me arrested. He was calling the police everywhere I motherfucking went. And I do mean everywhere. Sometimes I'd be like, how that motherfucker know I'm here? But the motherfucker knew. And was calling the police. My mama finally came to me. No, I was on my brother's house. And we was playing spades. And we had all rolled up some fat ass blunts. And, I'm whooping their ass in spades. And my brother had just rolled up his blunt, and there's a knock at the door. And he about to go to the door with the motherfucking blunt lit, hanging from his mouth. And I said, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I had just heard of a friend of mine who sell weed got busted like that. The police knocked on his door, had the wrong door, but he answered the door blowing weed smoke in their face and, went to jail. So I told my brother, I was like, nah, don't do that. Put the blunt down, then answer the door. So he cracks the door open, and it's the motherfucking police looking for me. When I tell you I did a G.I. Joe jump, swoosh, right behind the futon, jumped in between the crack and the crevices of the futon, covered myself up with some cover, tucked my feet in, like I was maybe like 5 pounds rolled up in some shit, and laid down the motherfucking bars, you hear me? The police searched, they didn't find me. My brother was like, where the fuck did he go? Did he run out the back door? He couldn't have, because they had the house surrounded. No, they couldn't have. Where the fuck did he go? He said, well, the police gone now. And I came out from under the futon like, okay, here I am. He's like, bitch, you gotta turn your motherfucking self in. I almost went to jail fucking with you. I was like, I know, I told you, dumbass, not to answer no motherfucking door with no blunt hanging from your mouth. I just had a suspicion. So my mom was like, you gotta turn yourself in, baby. I know you don't want to, but you got to. So I did. I turned myself in. I had like $300 on me. So I said I'll be straight for a little while. But little did I know, that jail was motherfucking expensive. I mean, really expensive. They charging $3 and $4 for some soda. $2 for the 15-cent pack of noodles. I mean, these hoes is charging. They getting paid off this commissary shit. Trust me. So my little 200 didn't go nowhere too far. But, you know, I put in a pretty good size order my first go round. And they tell me that it's going to take me about 2 weeks in order to get my commissary. So I was kind of brokenhearted by that because I wasn't going to have no snacks. And their food was nasty. And, you know, I was on a semi-hunger strike because, you know, a lot of shit I just don't eat. So they bring the commissary to everybody in the cell, and, you know, I'm sitting there, and they call my name, and I'm like, damn, they must have gave me my commissary early. Good. And they pull out like 3 big-ass garbage bags full of food, and, you know, tell me to come pick it up, and I'm like, for me? And they was like, yeah. So apparently the whole time that I was on the run and all the niggas I was like tricking off with or whatever was really actually sending me packages to the jail, and I wasn't even in the jail yet. So when I got to jail, I had a motherfucking stove. I had a stove stacked up. Hell, I went back and canceled my order. I could sit back on my money for a minute. But I didn't know jail. Like, I had never really been to jail. Like, I had only been in there for maybe like a couple of weeks before, but never like sat in the county or some shit. So I ain't know the rules, the regulations, none of that shit. And me and this dude, he was my roommate, and I could not stand his ass. We was like close to fighting. Like, we was about to fight. Like, no joke. We was about to fight. I didn't like that nigga. Like, we was preparing up to fight. And so my mom, who's, you know, she done time standing on her motherfucking head. You know, she's been in and out of jail since I was a youngin'. So she know how prison work, and I don't. So she wrote me a letter. And the letter arrived maybe like 2 weeks after I had been there. So she say, I want to go over some things with you because I know you ain't never been in jail. Now keep in mind, I'm in there for 2 weeks. I'm already beefing with my cellmate. I got beef with another nigga in the cell over some shit. I don't even remember. I think I got smart with the hoe because, you know, he was an old dumb hoe. I don't like a dumb hoe. So me and him had got into it about some shit, and he ain't like me, and I ain't particularly care for him. So that was that. But my mom writes me this letter in jail, and she said, well, I need you to stay out of the day room, which, you know, I was all in the day room. That's what the drama was. I don't need you playing no spades. I was already knee deep in the spades games. And I need you, the only person you need to get along with is your cellmate. I said, She said, you never know what your cellmate has been arrested for, what they in jail for, what they really in jail for. And if they get mad enough, they can kill you in your sleep. That's the only person you need to be friendly with and kind to. Share with him. Now keep in mind, I had been shady with my roommate. I couldn't stand that motherfucker. Like I said, we was on the verge of fighting. But when she said they could kill you in your sleep, my whole frame of thought started changing. Like, I didn't even really think about that. Like, he could, He really could kill me in my sleep. So I went to my room, got me out 2 honey buns. I said, bro, you want a honey bun? He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, man. I'm sorry I was being like that. You know, I was in a shitty attitude. I was mad because I was arrested. But, you know, that shit ain't got nothing to do with you, and I shouldn't have took it out on you. So the only thing I really got to get along with in here is you. So we don't need no beef. He was like, man, you know what? You right. And that became my homie. Then, luckily, by the grace of God, a month later, he got transferred out. So it's just me by myself. And it pretty much so stayed me by myself for like 3 more months. So I was in jail for 5 months. The last month, they transferred me in with this other gay dude who just knew we was going to be in there sucking and fucking. No, ma'am. Not I. I had made up in my head that I was not going to be doing any fucking or sucking in jail. That was just not going to be me. Not I, said the captain. No, it's a rapski, no-ski for me. So no, he was very and sorely disappointed. Had a whole attitude about it, but I ain't getting no fucks.